And you also didn't mention that your ungodly hour business meetings has a lipstick stamp as one of your company's logo. Thompson is a very masculine man, handsome, tall, dark with a shining skin. Almost every girl wants him, and he knew it. And he's also very rich. He has different successful businesses. But one bad habit he couldn't escape was that he was a chronic womanizer. Faith was the woman after his heart. He loves Faith so much, but Faith loved him more. In fact, she was obsessed with Thompson. After months of dating, he proposed and she accepted to marry him, even when she was aware of Thompson's extravagant life, thinking she was going to change him to be the best man she wanted. She thought her fair, beautiful, flawless, glass-like skin and her hourglass shape would keep him. To crown it all, she was a very hardworking and successful lady. She thought all this would keep Thompson glued to her forever, because Thompson loved beautiful and successful women as well. But not until a few months after their marriage, Thompson became worse. He changed women like clothes. Faith would call him out, pray, and even reach out to her pastor, who will call Thompson for counseling. After which, he would change and become better for a while, then switch back to his pattern again. Faith was tired. She has treated countless infections due to her husband's philandering lifestyle, but Thompson didn't care. He often kept late nights. Sometimes he sleeps out, and when questioned by Faith, he will give different flimsy excuses. At some point, Faith stopped asking him about his whereabouts, but that didn't make him think twice. Rather, he was getting worse day after day. Thompson started flaunting different women. He was often seen with each of them in public. Some people who knew Faith would whisper to her about seeing her husband with different women every day. Faith, we saw your husband with a girl yesterday entering a fizzy restaurant. He spent so much time there with her. One of her colleagues at work whispered to her. Not just that, oh. In fact, every day we see your husband with different women. Hey, how do you cope with his lifestyle now? Another whispered. Please mind your business, Faith said dismissively. Thompson's philandering lifestyle was tormenting Faith badly. Faith's best friend, Goodness, advised her one Saturday afternoon as they hung out. Babe, this your husband's cheating behavior is getting worse day after day. Oh. Why not divorce him for the sake of your sanity? But Faith rebuked her immediately. Goodness, calm down now. It hasn't gotten to that. The thing is that I love Thompson so much. I love him with my life. I can't leave him. I would rather fight to save my marriage, Faith said. Don't worry. Until he sends you to your early grave, then you'll understand better. Well, if you want men like him to be loyal to you, no be with clear eyes oh. Na strong juju you go fit take hold am oh, Goodness said jokingly. I can never use charm on my husband. Not when I'm serving a living God, the Abitu Shaker, Faith responded. Faith started midnight prayers, kabashing, praying for God to change her husband. But to no avail. She knew deep down that Thompson doesn't care anymore. A part of her wanted to divorce him, but she couldn't give that a chance because she still believed that Thompson would change one day. One evening, she sat down, reflecting on their dating days, when Thompson was sweet, kind, caring, always there for her. But everything got worse after their marriage. The thoughts of what Goodness, her friend, told her about holding men like her husband to be loyal and faithful to their spouse is with charm started ringing in her head. One afternoon, as she sat in her balcony, she started conceiving the thoughts. On a fateful night, Thompson stayed out late as usual. As he slammed the door behind him, he walked past Faith, who was sitting at their sitting room waiting for him to come back. She was boiling inside. She was ready to confront him this time. She stared at him with swollen eyes from shedding tears throughout the day. He walked straight to the kitchen unapologetically, as he believed that Faith was already used to his lifestyle and would never question him again. Where are you coming from at this ungodly hour? Faith thundered. Please, Oni, not tonight. I'm tired. I need to rest, he said nonchalantly. Thompson, answer me! Where are you coming from at this ungodly hour? She thundered again. Why are you raising your voice? I told you I arranged for a business meeting when you called earlier, he answered with so much masculinity. Really? A business meeting that lasted till 1 a.m.? And you also didn't mention that your ungodly hour business meetings has lipstick stamp as one of your company's logo. I didn't know that, she replied idiomatically. Thompson looked at his shoulder and saw a lipstick stain on his shirt. He was speechless at some point. Stop, please. I go out there to hustle and make sure this family have a comfortable life. Yet you stand before me to question my whereabouts? Okay, even if I cheat, don't I provide for you? What do you want that I don't give you? Why? Thompson, why? Why are you treating me like this? Have I offended you in any way? Does my love mean nothing to you? Faith said with tears gathered in her eyes. Oh, please stop. I've told you countless times that I'm a man and nobody can change me. So you knew what you were getting yourself into when you agreed to marry me. I didn't promise to be a perfect partner to you, he said while walking away. Faith was broken at what Thompson just ordered to her, without considering her feelings. She wiped her tears and went to bed. She couldn't sleep that night, so she made up her mind to contact her best friend Goodness if she knows any native doctor she can recommend for her. The next morning, Faith called her best friend as she was heading to work. Hello Goody, how far? Please, I'm ready to use charm on my husband now. Can you recommend any native doctor for me? I mean, strong one, she said with so much determination. Ah, Faith, has it gotten to that? Please, I was just joking, oh. Ha, Faith, divorce this guy and go your way. Why is it so hard for you to do? Why are you so obsessed with him? It's clear he doesn't want to change. Instead of conceiving the thought of using charm to make him change, why not walk away and allow another man who deserves you to find and treat you right? He doesn't deserve one bit of you. Goodness tried to convince her to change her mind, but she refused to listen. She has already made up her mind. She wouldn't stop disturbing her best friend to help her get a strong native doctor. Finally, one was recommended for her. The next day evening, she followed the address that was given to her. So she drove down to a typical village in Ibadan. She drove till she got to the outskirts of the village, where she saw an ancient building. As she walked towards the building, a part of her whispered to go back, but she has already come this far to go back. As she entered the compound, a goat with a human head came out and turned as a sign that she should follow it, which she did. She entered the house filled with faded red and white clothes. There sat a very old man, looking fierce. The old man stared at her for a while. Faith became very scared at this point. The old man told her to sit, and she sat on a carved wooden stool. Your heart is heavy, my daughter. I can see a woman filled with so much pain, betrayal, and sorrow, the old man said. Faith was shocked. How did he know? He hasn't even asked her anything. You want a charm to control your husband, to love and stay faithful to only you, right? He said. Faith almost peed on her pants out of fear. Yes, Baba, yes, Faith answered, trembling. You see, my daughter, charms like this don't come for free. It comes with price, and it has severe consequences if not properly managed, the old man warned. So he stood up and went to his shelf and brought out a very tiny bottle. In the bottle, there were 2 buns tied with red cloth and other particles in it. He handed it over to Faith. Take this, make sure to put it under your foot match. Let it be the first thing he steps on when he enters the house or go out for 7 days. On the 7th day, throw it in the bush. You will see the result you want. But if you fail to carry out as instructed, then you will face the consequences. the old man instructed. "What is the consequences, Baba?" she said, but the old man didn't say anything, and she left. She carried out the charm carefully as instructed, but nothing seems to change. On the seventh day, she discarded the charm as instructed, not knowing that Thompson was under a spell. This happened years ago. As the only son and the only child of Mr. and Mrs. Toyin, his father was a very wealthy farmer. His cousin brother, who was jealous of Mr. Toyin, wanted to kill him and his only son, so he can take over his wealth. Mr. Toyin's father was a very strong native doctor, very known and popular, so he sacrificed himself to his gods to save his family and to make them untouchable till they get very old and kick the bucket naturally. Whoever that plans evil for any of them, the evil will reverse back to them, so they will continue to prosper till they were very old and they will pass away naturally. Thompson never told anyone this part of his life, not even his wife he claimed to love. After 1 week, one Saturday morning, Faith woke up to see rashes all over her body. She thought it was minor rashes, and she went to several hospitals, but the doctor couldn't detect what was wrong with her. Days turned into weeks. It got even worse. Her body started peeling like someone that was poured hot water. Thompson already recognized the signs. My wife tried to use charm on me? He thought. Thompson never showed genuine concern other than checking on her before going out. He kept his distance till Faith passed away. On the day of Faith's funeral, just few crowds gathered at the cemetery. The pastor, the family, and friends. Goodness couldn't stop crying. I caused this. I would have tried harder to stop her. Faith, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me, she said, crying. I would have protected you. After the pastor preached, he prayed, and as they were about laying her to rest, there comes a G-Wagon car, pulling through the dusty road. The small crowd attention were drifted from the ceremony for a while. They all focused on the road to see who was coming. Lo and behold, it was Thompson, and surprisingly, he came with his side chick, a beautiful young flawless lady with an hourglass shape. They both dressed on black. What? He brought another woman to his wife's funeral? This man is so wicked, Goodness murmured. Thompson held his mistress tightly as they walked towards the coffin. He poured a handful of sand on it as a superficial gesture. As the pastor was trying to stop him so he can talk to him, Thompson wasn't ready for that. He walked away. Thompson, you are so wicked. You don't have any atom of respect for your wife, even at her funeral. Do you even have human sympathy? Goodness thundered. But Thompson ignored her. Finally, I'm very free to live my life without questioning. Freedom at last. I should be sympathetic towards a woman who tried to use charm on me. She wanted to kill me without knowing I'm untouchable, he murmured as he walked towards his car with his white mistress. Life was sweet. He doesn't care about anybody's feelings. The thought of him being untouchable made him treat people like trash. He even started cheating on his white mistress, and she left. Unknowingly to him, his doom was fast approaching. At first, it started with his multi-billion naira containers which sank at the ocean. Then, one of his company got burnt. He couldn't wrap his head around what was happening. What's going on? He thought deeply. So he went to his family house to find out what was the problem. One of his lovely uncle, whom has taken over his grandfather's position, told him that his arrogance, inhuman, his selfish and wicked heart has made the gods to work against him, and that it was too late. He wasn't going to survive this one. Thompson couldn't believe his eyes. He entered his car and left the village. On his way to Lagos, he had a car accident and he died on the spot. That was how Thompson's stupidity, arrogance, and nonchalant life led him to his early grave. What did you learn from this story? Let's hear you in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, and also subscribe to this channel. Turn on your bell notification so you get notified on when an interesting story like this drops. See you in the next video.